A poor mom of 4 who has a newborn herself tends to a stranger's hungry baby by breastfeeding him. Weeks later, her life takes a turn, and her kindness finds its way back to her in an unexpected way. Caitlin's life revolved around work. The poor single mother of 4 worked as an orderly at a hospital, taking up long and extra shifts to keep her family afloat and barely taking time off for herself. Her neighbors described her job as tough, but that's not what they truly thought. In reality, people considered Caitlin's job disgusting because she cleaned after the patients. She dealt with a patient's bodily fluids and cleaned the messy hospital sheets and dirty floors. Her blue hospital uniform had become her identity, and she was no longer referred to as Caitlin. She had become Nurse Caitlin. But what most people didn't know was that Nurse Caitlin had a family too, a big unhappy one. Unhappy because her husband had died, leaving her alone with her 4 kids and her older mother, who lived with her and cared for her children and was getting weaker and thinner day by day. "Mom," Caitlin told her one day, "I think all of this is taking a toll on you, looking after the children. You deserve better, so I've decided to stop taking up extra shifts. I want to be home and help you out." "Honey," her mother said, "it's not my role as a grandmother that's taxing me. I despise seeing my daughter in scrubs all the time. I hate seeing those dark bags under your eyes. Honey, you have to stop worrying. You need to stop working all the time and think about your life. You're still young." When Caitlin looked into the mirror that day, she realized her mother was right. Her once smiling face was wrinkled, sad, and tired. She had let herself go after her husband's death. But Caitlin had responsibilities on her shoulders, a lot of them. Her house needed extensive repairs and there were bills to pay. That mattered more than the wrinkles ruining her pretty face. She told herself she didn't mind wearing scrubs all the time as long as her family didn't go to bed hungry. So off Caitlin went to work the next day, dismissing what her mother had said. The day turned out pretty much the same, but as she was leaving after her shift, she saw a stretcher storm into the hospital carrying a woman who was unconscious and severely injured. What broke Caitlin's heart was that the young woman wasn't alone. A baby boy, probably a few months old, was rushed to the hospital with her. It turned out the woman and her infant had been in a terrible car accident, and because the woman's phone was completely smashed in the accident, authorities were unable to contact her relatives. The cops were trying to trace her family, but they hadn't been successful. Caitlin decided to stay back to check on the young mother and her baby. Thankfully, the child was safe, but he was crying bitterly due to hunger. The heartbreaking wail moved Caitlin. The little boy was so weak and fragile, she couldn't bear to see him like that. "Nurse Janice," she said, her gaze fixed on the poor soul, "he's starving. I believe we should feed him." "Oh, he's a premature baby, darling, and it'll be best if he's breastfed," the 60-year-old nurse explained. "That's what the doctor said. We need to—" "I'll do it," Caitlin offered immediately. "I have an infant too. My daughter, she's only 4 months old. I breastfeed her. I can do that for him." "You got a child? I didn't know that." "4," said Caitlin with a kind smile. "I have 4 kids. I breastfed all of them." So Caitlin spoke with the doctor and she was allowed to nurse the child. At first she found it hard because the baby wouldn't latch on quickly, but it all worked out. Thanks to her, the little boy dozed off soon after and slept peacefully that night. The little soul had no idea his mother was in a terrible condition. The woman didn't regain consciousness for weeks, so Caitlin continued to breastfeed the little boy. To put it mildly, she was getting tired eventually. With the work, caring for her own kids, and looking after the baby boy who was temporarily staying at her house because she needed to be around him to breastfeed him, everything was very stressful, but Caitlin surrounded him with love. The little boy's sweet cries filled her home with laughter and new joy. She would bring him to the hospital with her when she went to work, then take him home. She tended to the baby like her own, forgetting her own problems until his mother regained consciousness. For 3 weeks, Caitlin breastfed the boy and his mother was grateful for that. "Thank you so much, nurse," she told Caitlin when she met her. "What you've done for my boy, I can never return your favor. My husband and I are divorced and I don't have any family here. Thank you for what you did. I heard how you offered to look after my baby." "It's okay, ma'am," said Caitlin. "I'm a mother too and I can understand how hard it is for a mother to see her child crying from hunger. Please don't mention it." Little did Caitlin know that this kindness would come back to her in an unexpected way. She would soon receive an invite, a strange one that would turn her life around. A few days later on a Sunday morning, an expensive car pulled over right outside Caitlin's house. Her kids, 3 little boys, were playing in the yard and stopped when they saw the big shiny car. "Mommy," her youngest son cried, running inside. "Someone's come to our house in a big car." Caitlin came out, cleaning her hands on a towel to see the woman whose baby she had nursed weeks ago, whose name was Anna. "Anna," she cried, "what a pleasant surprise. How's baby Caleb doing?" "He's wonderful and sleeping at a neighbor's home," said Anna with a smile. "Can I come in?" "Oh, please," Caitlin replied, inviting her inside. She was a little embarrassed about her living conditions, but Anna didn't seem to mind at all. "I know this might seem very sudden, but I was wondering if you'd like to work for me," Anna said as she settled in on the living room couch. "I need you to be there for us, Nurse Caitlin." Caitlin was stunned. I don't understand. I need someone trustworthy to look after Caleb, and I'm willing to pay you 10 times what the hospital does, Anna said. But that's not exactly why I'm here. We have plenty of money, but Caleb and I have been lonely, and we'd love to have a big family staying with us. We have a large house with plenty of space, believe me. So what do you think? Would you and your family be happy to move in with us? Anna was right. She had plenty of room not only in her house but also in her heart. She wanted Caitlin as Caleb's caretaker, but more than that as a family, and Caitlin appreciated that. That would be wonderful, she said in tears. So Caitlin sold her old house and moved in with Anna. Since then, the two women have become the best of friends and treat each other like family. Their kids' cries, fights, and waves of laughter fill Anna's big mansion now, and little Caleb is surrounded by a big family, a happy and loving one. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and consider sharing it with someone who may find it interesting. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.